Good morning, everyone. Um, it's somewhat surreal for me to be standing here doing this. I'm really honored to be back. I'm honored to be speaking to you like this. I feel like I come here from another time, another place. I assure you, I come in peace. But when I showed up here at St. Paul's in 1968. I remember showing up on this campus with 45 cents in my pocket because I came from the hood. I came from Baltimore. My mom scrounged together her 45 cents mostly in pennies. I remember, I missed the buses to school, and when they called the rector and he heard that I only had 45 cents in my pocket, I remember hearing him on the phone say, "Good Lord." But that was all the money my mom had. But it was 1968. It was an interesting time. I'd come from Baltimore. The summer before, there had been race riots. Martin Luther King had been assassinated. Malcolm X not long before that. It was an interesting time in the country. That time was an interesting time here on this campus. I give the school a lot of credit for bringing in guys like me and some of the other guys that came in, because we were, guys straight from the projects, the hood, and the idea of coming to someplace like this was just, unheard of. But the school, to its great credit, opened its arms to us. And I was impressed by that. I was impressed by how hard everyone here seemed to be working to make me feel a part of this community. And again, after having watched the riots of '68 in Baltimore, there were National Guardsmen literally sitting on my front doorstep. I and a lot of the other guys who came in with a little bit of a chip on our shoulder didn't know what to expect. I had no idea what it was going to be like here. And now when I think back, I realize that, I benefited, and I think the school benefited from having me and some of the other guys here. Before I came to this school in 1968 in Baltimore, I had never been in a classroom with a white person. Hard to believe. I'd never had a white teacher. So I really did not know what to expect when I got here. And having that chip on my shoulder, I created some problems for myself. But what blew me away was that it seemed as though everybody here was committed to not letting me sabotage myself, committed to not letting me fail, committed to making me feel that I was a part of what was going on here. Now, at that time, my hero was Malcolm X. But there was Martin Luther King, and I was running around this campus with, my Black Panther buttons on my jacket, and, had the afro, the whole thing. Hard to believe about the afro, right? I actually don't miss the hair, Somebody found that hard to believe, but these people, as different as they were, Martin Luther King was, the whole peaceful thing. Malcolm X was more confrontational. The Panthers were, some people thought, violent. But the one thing they all talked about was education. And what they all said was, you go there, you get that education, you come back to your community and you make a difference. And me, I believed that. And pretty much that's where my life, that's the direction my life has taken since I left here. I got this great education, and I went back to the community from whence I came, and I'm still there, working with, poor Black men, trying to get them to connect to their children, working with poor young moms, trying to teach them how to take care of their children. it didn't work out quite like I thought. I thought that I would come here, I would get what I could get, and then leave here and make a ton of money. But I actually, at one point, realized that I've got something that I need to share with people that need it. And that's sort of what I'm doing still today. I'm right on the front lines there. I'm in the communities. I'm in people's homes. And these are poor people. And I help them make sense of a world that basically just befuddles them. I'm wondering when I'm going to get burnt out from the whole thing, but I really believe that, I had a responsibility to make a difference, and I feel that I was prepared to do it. St. Paul's has become, for me, like the centerpiece of my life. And I never thought that that would be true because I was so contrary when I was here, but it really has. And I really treasure the experience I had here, the people I met here. Now, I'm almost done. I just want to say one more thing. There were a lot of men here because, when I got here, it was all boys. The first girls to graduate were in my class, but it was all boys. It was a lower school. There were a lot of things going on here, a lot of things changing. But there were a lot of people here that made a strong impression on me. One of them was Bill Matthews, and I just want to say a few words about him. I talked to him several years ago and told him that, I really learned a lot here despite myself. And he told me that, and I told him that I was grateful to a lot of people, and he said, you should tell them that. And I thought, yeah, you're right. So I wrote the book that I wrote, my memoir, because I wanted to say to some of the people just how grateful I was. Because I don't think I did that when I was here. I don't think I ever did that. But what I liked about Bill Matthews is that he was a straight shooter. And given who I was and the other guys that I was hanging with, and like I say, we were a rough bunch. We all respected him. We all liked him because he was such a straight talker. And when he told me that I should tell people, thank you, again, he was giving it to me straight. And I took his advice and I wrote a book to say that. I think the school has been very lucky to have him in charge. And he and other men like him, they do good work. And even though I'm not here, I'm sort of sad to hear he's leaving because I know he had the right thing, the right stuff to I guess, lead all of the people here. And I'm sorry I'm not speaking to this side of the room, but I'm not ignoring you. It's just there's this microphone. But anyway, I'm done. Thank you all for listening. And I want to say again, to whomever knew me from back then, I am very grateful for all that you've done for me. Thanks.